All right, we are back on the Go Explore Granbury podcast. I am your host, Mickey Sharon, and I am really excited to be joined today by Brett Berry and Jeremy Newberry. They are operating partners here at Warren's Backyard, just outside of Granbury, Texas, right off of Highway 51. Gentlemen, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit. Let's just start off with the basics. Just tell us a little bit about Warren's Backyard, what you do out here for people who may not be familiar with where you're at and what you do.
Well, we are what I would call a community center that has a bar in it with live music. We're a place where people get to come hang out. Whether you're drinking, whether you're not, whether you want to bring the family out and eat crawfish on a Sunday and listen to some tunes, whether you want to watch NASCAR or golf or any of the sporting events going on, we really kind of have something for everybody. Food trucks, dance floor, you name it, man. We got a little bit of everything out here. So it's been a lot of fun the last couple of months getting to show people the new stuff we're adding. Like I just showed you today, we got the new dance floor. So always something new popping up for you guys.
Fantastic. And I mean, it's a huge place. I mean, people that I talk to that have been out here are kind of blown away at how much space you guys have out here. I mean, you here in your covered area where your bar is, how many square foot you have?
We've had groups of up to 250, 300 in there
comfortably.
Pretty comfortably. Adam Richards came and played acoustic little set one night, and we probably had 300 people in there dancing, having a good time. So
wow,
it's nice. We have plenty of space outside, plenty of space inside. Willie Nelson once said there's plenty of room for sitting, there's plenty of room for dancing when he was talking about Alamo down in Austin. And we kind of say the same thing here. If you want to watch a show, you got plenty of room to spread out.
Right.
If you want to dance, you can get close and dance too. So lots of good choices.
And now you've expanded your dance floor outside.
Yeah,
so for the months that you can in time of day that you can enjoy the the outside and everything, and you've got a live music stage. We'll shoot some footage of that, but you have a nice outside music stage.
Absolutely.
Lots of outdoor seating. So how did you guys come to be operating partners of a operation like Warren's Backyard?
Brett's had a more direct route than me. He went to college, essentially got in the bar industry, and then never left. I have taken a much more roundabout.
A circuitous route, as the philosophers say.
Yeah, I've dabbled in a lot of different professions. I started out as a social worker in Austin, and then I worked in the Travis County Jail, teaching inmates job readiness preparedness, and then I worked on a national reentry grant funded through the government for 2 years. Oh, God. What else have I done? Pretrial officer, largely social work, criminal justice base. Then I moved internationally for a year and a half, came back, and I was going to go to nursing school. And then me showing up 1 week early to a golf tournament is essentially literally how you landed here. I showed up 1 week early for a golf tournament, and that literally set the chain of events to how we're here now.
He was like, are we still playing today at 2? And I was like, no, next week, Wednesday next week. And he was in Austin for an extra week and picked up some shifts, and next thing you know, we're
so scheduling snafu is what led to all of this.
But before that, I mean, way back, me and Jeremy, Jeremy's probably my oldest friend I've known the longest. I went to Granbury to Toller in the 4th grade, and he was in the 5th grade, and we went all the way through high school together, played sports, all that good stuff. So we've always known each other, and like when he was in Austin, we always kept in touch, and it just kind of the stars aligned, and timing is a weird thing sometimes,
Right. So now, Brett, I knew you had grew up in the area, but Jeremy, you did as well. So you grew up in the Toller area.
Yep.
Okay.
Mom was a teacher. My mom was a secretary at the same school. So we spent a lot of summers rolling around in rolly chairs and then
down
the
hallways.
empty hallways. Yeah, all that good stuff that you get when you grow up as a teacher's son.
So what's kind of the backstory or the history of where Warren's Backyard is now? And I know there's kind of an interesting story of how the name Warren's Backyard kind of came attached.
Yeah, so Warren's family, the White family, moved here and bought this property, the 25 acres we're on, with actually a little bit more, but in 1875. They built the house in 1892. They planted this entire row of pecan trees. When you pull in, you park under the pecan trees. That was a big part of their business as well. But they actually were running a ferry service across the Brazos River before it was like Granbury. So just like you see in 1883 and all that good stuff, they were equipping people with oxes and wagons and horses and extra hands, and you would rent them by the day, and they would help you get where you were going. Warren White was more of a grandfather figure to me. He was my neighbor growing up, so we grew up in the house next door, and taught me to play golf. Was just always a great storyteller, always had was really sharp, always had something. The first guy I remember really picking on my dad, and when you meet that guy, you're like, hey, you can't say that to him, and he's like, I can say what I want to him. But Warren and my dad,
not many people that can do that.
Right.
And at a young age, I was like, this guy must be important. He's John, my dad. But as Warren got older, we took over some of the property from him and maintained it and bought it as my dad could buy into it. And before he passed away, he really just wanted to see his house that, again, had been in his family for 3 generations just last as long as it could, not get bulldozed and turned into, a bunch of houses. So, my mom and dad, cared about him obviously a lot, said, hey, we'll do our best, and bought the property off of him. And my mom had this crazy idea to put a wedding venue out here. Was not Steve Barry's idea. So make sure I really push that through. But my dad obviously is gung ho. As soon as we got up and running, he was,
or at least he acquiesced.
He started doing weddings and officiating. So I guess he bought in pretty quick.
Right.
But it went really well for 7 years. I think that they were at a point in their lives and careers where they just want to kind of spend some more time together. And our bars in Austin have done really well and shown success. And this is really what we like to do. I mean, we don't own different bars in Austin. This is what we specialize in, was outdoor, live music, big oak trees, a place for people to hang out and not feel like they're on top of each other.
Right.
Get to play games, and that's what we wanted to do. So when I knew the space obviously existed, grew up next to it growing up, but once I saw what my mom had built, I was like, man, this really set off a trigger. Like, this could really work in Granbury, and Hood County needs and wants, as we've seen, like more live music, more entertainment, more things to do.
Sure.
So it was a kind of a natural progression for us. But yeah, Warren's family has been, taking care of this property for over 200 years, and so it's kind of our turn to pass the torch, I guess.
Sure. Well, that's really a neat story. And in the house that I'm looking over here to my right, that then is the original homestead.
And you can see kind of the extended, when people started saying, hey, let's get this a little bigger, and expanding and growing it a little bit. The upstairs was an add-on as well. It's just an interesting, cool old house. Actually, my favorite part of the whole bar is the door behind our draft wall is the original door that was brought here on a horse and buggy from Dallas in 1892. So it's way heavier than any door I've ever picked up in my life.
It's made well.
Yeah, but we put doors were kind of a cool symbiotic thing for my mom. Whenever we built the wedding venue, we flip doors upside down and they kind of make a cross.
Right.
So all the doors behind the wall are all upside down doors to make a cross, and then Warren's is horizontal and it's really kind of a centerpiece. So really special to us.
That's neat. That's really cool when you have that. There's a story behind, not every place has that, but this place is kind of steeped in, in history.
Hood County history meets hometown
a lot of roots
hospitality.
here.
Absolutely.
And, it's made even better by the fact that you guys, grew up here. I mean, this is your home. This is your life right
Absolutely,
here.
man.
And I remember when the wedding venue, I attended, I don't know how many weddings out here, in the years that your mom and dad had the wedding venue out here, but I think now it's probably taken on what it should have been all along.
Well, I don't disagree with either. I think it's a progression. It's like, I don't think we would have ever gotten where we are without the work that they put in to build Boomer's Bar, to build the bathrooms, to really make this building feel special. And the add-on wasn't even here, if you remember, right off the bat. So they've done so much hard work, and they still do, even though we tell them not to. They just won't stop. It's amazing. But it's true. It's like it's kind of grown into something that we're all excited about, and I think we're not done growing. Our goal is to continue to put effort and our personality into the space and make it grow even more. Our staff is always willing to tell us what they think we should be doing more of, and we're just excited to see where this goes in the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Sure. Well, I think timing-wise, I think was your establishing this place as Warren's Backyard as it is today had a real pivotal role in Granbury just recently acquiring the designation of a music-friendly city.
Really awesome.
I think only the 40th town in all of Texas. To and Texas is pretty serious about its music.
Very much so.
To be designated by the governor's office as a music-friendly city is
Huge
pretty
deal.
significant
Big deal.
for Granbury, and so I think you guys play a major role in that. So you have
No pressure, though.
You have right, a lot to live up to. But you guys have live music out here on an every week basis,
Daily
basically.
basis.
Generally 4 days a week, sometimes five.
Thursday through Sunday, generally, or
Right now, Wednesday through Sunday. And again, our schedule changes as the seasons go. I mean, if it gets too hot, I understand. I don't want to walk across the parking lot when it's too hot.
Sure.
So we do change our schedule either later, or maybe we take some days off. But just take a look on our Facebook or Instagram.
Sure.
It's kind of the best way to follow us right now.
Absolutely.
But we have some great acts coming through. I mean, I know everybody loves to say, like, when are you going to get Luke Combs? Like, when are you going to get, Co Wetzel? Love you, Co. Can't afford you.
Right.
But I think that what we really specialize in, again, even being from Austin, is like there's extremely talented musicians that live in our backyard.
Absolutely.
And while you might love Luke Combs because he's Luke Combs, like the people who met Luke Combs when he was playing for nobody are the people that we expect and hope that y'all are in Hood County. Like, we want to see y'all come out and be excited to see Josh Kennedy, be excited to see Nick and Presley Hale. Like, there's a ton of really, really talented musicians here that maybe you've never heard of, but if you come out and you hear them and see them in person and see the passion they have for what they're doing, their craft,
right,
there's no way you can't become a fan of these people.
Absolutely. So, well, and you never know when you might be hearing somebody in, maybe 5-10 years from now, you'll be saying, man, I saw those folks at Warren's backyard in Little Old Granbury.
We had Giovanni and the Hired Guns like 2 days before they hit the #1 on the alt rock charts. And we'll probably never see them again. See you, Gio. But you know what I mean? Like that.
Thanks
that might
for passing
be
through.
Appreciate you, bud. But it's like those things happen quick, and you can attest to listening to some of the stories of really talented musicians, how quick you just skyrocketed. It's not like we don't want to have them. It's just we can't. Like we can't afford them.
Well, there's so much, as you said, so much great talent.
Absolutely.
All around this area that and there's things that are so pivotal in making the difference in between these bands and these artists being in the right place at the right time. I come out of a theater background, so I know I've got a number of friends that and people that I've worked with in the past that are have and are performing currently in musicals on Broadway.
Amazing.
And the difference between, and do I know people that are just as talented, maybe not more talented, that have never darkened the door of a theater in Broadway as far as a performer, but they're in the right place at the right time, and they get that break. So you're going to see people out here performing that are, they're first rate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, so let's shift gears a little bit. I'm looking at your hats, and I know that y'all have
we didn't plan this, but it just happens sometimes.
Well, hey, your marketers first. If you're not a marketer, you're nothing, right? So you've got a presence down in the Austin area. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Armadillo Den. We opened in November of 2020. Big outdoor venue like we're doing here.
Great time to open a business.
Yeah, right.
Don't say we're not hustlers. But it really is kind of the sister bar to what we have here.
Right.
And she's the bigger sister, but she's definitely she's made a presence in Austin as far as a great spot for same things we do here. The same kind of. It's cultivating a community of people that want to hang out and buy into what we do. And what we do is fun, man. It's hang out on the patio, listen to music, and hang out with your dogs and play games.
Yeah.
Eat food trucks. We're not trying to rewrite any major books here. We just are doing what we like to do.
Just be a place where people can get together and connect and create some stories.
Absolutely. And I will say our parking lot is way better than the one in Austin.
We may be the little sister bar, but we have got the superior parking lot, without a doubt.
Well, if you don't have a place for people to park, they're going to quit coming eventually.
Got to figure it out, but they have. But man, Austin's been great, and it was kind of a opportunity for our other business partners, Cade and Biggie, to for us to kind of put our flag on the map, and it's something we're running with and hoping to see some more locations pop up.
Well, the fact that you opened in 2020 and you're still open in 2023,
it's a good sign.
Says an awful lot, and
a lot of hustle behind those years.
Absolutely.
I was living in Australia when this was happening. Brett would periodically post on his Instagram story progress of the build out and everything, and we had a really hard lockdown in Australia. But every time he posted, he'd be like, "Oh man, that's so bold. That's a bold move, buddy."
Yeah, we had some.
But you're getting it done.
Right.
We had some feedback for sure. But look back, hindsight's always 2020,
and it worked out fine for him.
Hey,
so.
make it up as we go.
That's right.
Right. So hopefully we never have
Glad to be standing on the other side.
Absolutely. Amen. So you guys obviously have a really nice bar. Do you do food service out here?
We don't serve food from the bar, but we have a taco team who has been an awesome partner with us. He's our main food. He's here every week. And we rotate our second option. Some of you even have a third and fourth option when we have events. But we've had everybody from Mickey White, shout out to Mickey White.
Right.
From Granbury
from
Classic.
Brookshire.
That's
Retired the next
Retired
day,
from
he's here
Brookshire.
selling barbecue.
Yeah.
I don't know how Brookshire's is keeping it together without him. They've got to be calling him every
He was
week.
there for like 40 years.
47 years.
Yeah.
48. I wrote him a gift card for $1 a year. Should have been more, but I just thought that was cheap. We've had down on the bayou serving jambalaya. We've had rotating food trucks that are a little well known around town. So the local great.
Yeah.
We try to rotate it and keep it fresh. Give
Yeah.
people something you new to come out and have. And I get it if you come to watch live music every time you're out here. We have a lot of regulars that while they love eating Julio's food, Jeremy eats it 6 times a week. It is nice to kind of catch the break and try something new.
Yeah, have a little variety.
Right.
But bottom line is there's people come out, there's always going to be some food
Absolutely,
available.
always something.
Yeah, great, fantastic. Well, any big plans coming up? Anything on the horizon that looms bigger than other things?
Yeah, we announced today Mason Lively. I don't know when this airs, but next Saturday, the 29th, will be here. He's great. He's out of Austin. He's a singer-songwriter. He's open for some really big bands. William Clark Green, Reckless Kelly, and
episode when we post it, we'll put information on your social media, your website, and definitely get tickets quick for William Clark Green. Those are not going to hang around.
They're not. They aren't. And to that point, we're always looking to do new events. And taking Picker to Pasture and bringing it in a little closer to Hood County. We're really lucky and excited to be partnering with those guys. And we look forward to doing that with a lot more other groups. If you have an event, or we have tons of class reunions out here. If you haven't been to a class reunion out here, reach out. They're probably trying to reach out to you. But we get hit up on Coach Franklin's youngest daughter yesterday. Hit us up for like her 5-year reunion. I didn't know she was graduating high school.
It made us feel
very old.
extremely old.
But it's great to see everybody get together and just enjoy the space as it's due. And just keep looking out. And if you have events, like you said, bring them to us. We'd love to host big or small.
We'll post all that info. Anything else, Jeremy, from you?
Brother, I think.
It's hard for him to get a word in with me. He knows this.
Which I like. This is why we have such a good
right.
working
That's
dynamic.
Absolutely.
Yin and a yang.
Well,
But,
you guys, congratulations. Let me
Hey,
say
thank you,
that
Mickey.
on a fabulous venue. Been out here lots of times. I never fail to have a great time. That's when I come out. It's a really cool place to come with friends, family. Have a few drinks, listen to some good music, eat some good food, and just make some memories.
Appreciate
That's what
it.
it's all about.
Appreciate
All right,
you,
well,
sir.
you guys, thanks so much for being with